Hi Cancer, welcome to Sophquest Synergy. My name is Spence, and this is your February wrap-up. So we are talking about Pisces season, and Pisces is the natural 12th house of the zodiac. It is not your 12th house, but it is the natural 12th house of the zodiac. So it's the deep wisdom of the zodiac. Having gone all the way around the wheel, it is, the deepest and highest possible knowledge that we can't even access, actually. So it's esoteric and ethereal, and it is where we get our sixth sense intuition from, really. So this Mercury retrograde right now in Pisces, which began February 17th and goes through March 9th, and then of course, before the 17th we had this pre-shadow, and then after March 9th we'll have the post-shadow, which basically is where it it covers the ground that it walked, if you will, before it went into retrograde. So the bottom line is, it's traveling a good distance in Pisces, and that is really, I think, about getting like cosmic downloads. It's a time for beautiful creativity. It can give you incredible, divine intervention, divine inspiration, in dreams or even in your daydreams. Things could just come to you. It's not from your analytical mind, this Mercury retrograde. So right now in Mercury retrograde season, it's a good time to slow down, yes, and to ponder, yes. But not to analyze every single detail with your rational and practical mind. It really is to take time to just ponder, right? And let whatever comes to you come to you. And know that it is in divine timing and divine order that it's coming to you right now. Okay, so it's kind of the idea that you can solve your problem when you stop thinking about it and let it just come to you, the answer. Alright, so I've shuffled enough because I've already pre-shuffled before the video started. And I'm going to lay out your Tree of Life spread with the Fountain Tarot this time. Fountain Tarot. Alright. Oh, wow. Alright. Cancer. Yeah. That makes sense for you. Alright, let me just lay it all out. Take it in. And I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards for you as well, and we'll talk about that to begin, and then read through your Tree of Life. I do have a bit of a timer that I wanted to run, and I'm not sure if it's still up, so let me just check that. It is. Okay. Let me start that. Okay. So that way I can keep myself somewhat on schedule. All right. There've been, I think, 8 weeks now, maybe 9 weeks of renovations happening in my apartment building, and it's been unbearable in many ways. So I've had to really meditate, right, and chill, because it's driven me a bit crazy. And it made, doing my videos impossible. And outside here, I'm either in the city or by the beach, and it's just too noisy outside. Plus I'd have to take everything out, so I had to be patient and wait for the time to be right, and I have absolute faith that this is the right time to come to you for this February wrap-up. So we're right basically in the middle of Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and yeah, for you Cancer, I think that's your 9th house, right? Yeah. Wow. It really is a beautiful time for you to get a feeling of peace, a feeling of hope come over you, lightening up some of your water energy while it's deepening you, lightening your spirit while deepening your soul. That's what I'm getting. All right, so let's pull 2 of these Wisdom of the Oracle for you. And there they are. Let's see what we got. Nice. All right, let's start with these. Cancer. we have time to go, round and round. Actually, I think they fell out this way. Round and round, time to go. Okay. So you've traveled a path already, a spiral path already. You've gone through this circle or cycle before, at least once, if not many times. So take that in for a second and ponder that and think about that. It has left you questioning what it is that you need to change and how. What it is that you need to let shift, transform. Okay, take 3 deep breaths for me, Pisces. While I look at your spread. We'll go from there. Okay, Cancer. You love someone very, very much. But being in a committed relationship with this person, it might be marriage, it could be family, person. I don't see work here, but it's possible that it's at work. But what I really do see is potentially a marriage or a long-term romantic relationship or a family relationship, more than likely. Could be your best friend also if they're like family at this point, you know, after a very long time of being friends. And I think that you've been in the dark a little bit about not understanding why, even though you are in relationship with this person, you don't feel close to them right now. And I don't think you have felt that way for a very long time. 10 of Swords. I'm starting here. So the beautiful thing about this card, and swords represent the intellect, information, things that are said. Okay? Sometimes things that are unsaid. And for you, I think this is a lot of things that have just gone unsaid. Okay, Cancer, this is how you're feeling. And you're done with that. You're done with that. You need communication with this person. I don't actually see the person on the table. I'm seeing the relationship and how it's made you feel. It may not be about a relationship. It's potentially about something that you've been going through. But it's got you going round and round and round in your head. Okay? Alright, so the karmic right now for you is the High Priestess. So, you're questioning. There have been times during this period, however long this has been going on, there have been times during this period where you've been able to be your good, wise, and loving self. And there have been times where you probably have been triggered by this person for some reason, and maybe you had to deal with some of your shadow self, anger, for instance. Maybe a lack of trust because of lack of communication or lack of intimacy. Which just breeds discontent, right? So, okay, the issue at this point right now during this season, this Mercury retrograde season for you, is the 8 of Swords, which to me is sort of the pictorial view of what this is trying to talk about, round and round. This is your thinking. You've been going round and round and round and round in your head about this. And it's become a pattern. And I don't think you really know exactly what to do about it. You just know that it has to change. And you're taking a different path this time. I think in the relationship. If you're ending the relationship, then you're ending the relationship. You do have a new beginning here. If you're staying in the relationship, you're coming up you're walking a new path now. You've decided to take a different path or a different way of communicating. Trying something else, trying something different, going through a new door. See the door all the way back here in the background? Opening a door that hasn't been opened yet. Taking your relationship to the next level. Dealing with shadow stuff. You know, after you've been in a relationship for a while, a long time, even if you adore each other, eventually you do get to get to the point where you have to deal with each other's shadow. Even if you're the nicest people in the world, eventually it's going to come up, because as you get older and older and older, and love gets deeper and wider and more affecting, sometimes it can get really hard. Fair weather is great. Foul weather is difficult. You've had some foul weather. What you're thinking about, however, is how to work on it. You're willing to find this missing piece and put it in there. That's why I think you're one. I'm just flinging that thing all over. You're wanting to, I think you're wanting to work on the relationship. That's why I'm saying this. Although it's a challenge, because it does take commitment and trust and faith. And going to each other and talking to each other with, you know, opening up that box and opening up that relationship and saying, what is in here that we need to clean out? And, you know, what habit have we gotten into that we just can't seem to break out of, you know? But you have two choices. You can spiral down into the shadow, or you can spiral up into the light and forge a new path. This doesn't necessarily mean time to go and leave the relationship. It may. But it might mean time to go forward in the relationship. To go to the next level, the deeper level, the truer level, where fair weather friends become fair and foul weather friends, where they're sticking by each other. And if this is where you are right now, and you can't seem to get out of your own head, because the way it's playing out is you're climbing that mountain, but you've been doing it. It's been hard. This has been a struggle for you. I think it's been a struggle for you, Cancer. And maybe the friend is trying to come at you and either poke you and say, what's wrong with you? You know, like a friend will do, you know. Or, you know, instead of what you need to hear from them, what's underlying this whole thing is you need enthusiasm. You need somebody to inspire you. You need somebody to pull you out of that spiraling negativity. But I think that you will. Either you're pulling yourself out or they're going to help you. Because what's working for you is the star. Faith and hope. And following a path. You know, when Mercury retrograde is in Pisces, can work to the best of its energy. It is inspiring you. So look up. Wish on a star, okay? Yeah, the challenge is to open that box of worms, or can of worms maybe. But the best course of action is that Ace of Cups. Pour some love on it. Pour some tender, loving care on it. Say, look, we need to talk. So, pardon me, and let me start my timer. So, what you know about yourself right now is you're feeling tender. Very tender. And you need a cup of love. Or you're the one who needs to give a cup of love to the person who's in that state, who's been really isolated. What you need to know about yourself, or what, yeah, this is about you, okay? It's you. You've been isolated. So, here's the thing. As the hermit, right, the hermit seeks clarity and wisdom and knowing. You're doing that, and you're doing it right now by trusting your inner high priestess, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition. And this is the time to do it. Pisces season. I don't think you're going to be going round and round and round this anymore. You're going forward now, finally. You're moving it forward. You're moving the dial forward. You're moving the dial forward because you're almost at the apex. This is how it plays out during, you know, by the time this Mercury retrograde wraps up, you'll have finally reached the apex. You'll have finally climbed that mountain, scaled it. You're at the 9th wand. It's coming to its close. And the friend might be bringing you that last wand. This is what's underlying everything. So positivity is coming into the situation, whether your friend or your husband or wife or whomever it might be, mother, father, sibling, whomever it might be, somebody has some positivity here, and they need to pour their love forward. Because you've been so isolated and in such a state that even if nobody's noticed it on the outside, even if you can smile and talk to people and be fine, it's your thoughts, it's the way you're thinking. You keep going over things that something's got to shift or change. It could be as simple as, like, you know, a best friend who's always called you a nickname that was somewhat derogatory, and you're like, you know, I've had enough of that now. I'm 40 now. You know, we own our own company now, and in business meetings, I don't need you to call me, whatever. Honestly, it could be anything. That's my point. Or it could be something very painful. But there's a lot of positive cards here on this table. So, and best course of action, pour that love on. Have faith, have trust, and allow this in. Allow it in, okay? Take that cup. Take that cup in. You've got the star guiding you, and you're ready to go forward into the opening that new door. The new door into the future, okay? So, Cancer, I want to wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude, and I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you always know when I upload any new videos, all right? So take care, and thank you very much. I'll talk to you in March.